A very good afternoon, students. Today we are going to see the difference between the male and female pelvis, which is usually asked as a Viva examination in the Viva. So I will just give you some of the hints which are the usual question during the Viva. Okay. So let us see that these are the two pelvises. Okay, from male and female. This is from male and this is from female articulated pelvis is here, and I will tell you the differences between two and the major differences which you should speak when examiner asks you. So when examiner is asking you what are the differences in male and female pelvis, you can say that to begin with the male pelvis is strong as compared to that of the female pelvis, and it is of the large size, and the muscular attachment or the impression for the attachment of the muscles on the bone is quite prominent as compared to that of the female pelvis. This is just because there is the sex difference in the male and female. Okay, females are of less weight as compared to that of the male, and the male are more muscular, okay, as compared to that of the female. So there will be this muscular markings, and the size difference will be definitely there. So first point you can give to your examiner that this is the basic points. Okay, then you can say that the acetabular fossa, which is seen between male and female here, see the acetabular fossa of the female and that of the male. Sometimes it is very big in the male as compared to that of the females. Now then he can ask you why the acetabulum is bigger in male as compared to the female. You can say that the acetabulum forms the hip joint, and on this joint the load of the body comes on to the femur. And since the males have the more weight of the body weight, that's why for transmission of the load, the acetabular fossa is bigger in male. And similarly, the head of the femur will be also bigger into the male. Okay. Then one of the most important difference in determination of male and female, he may ask you, then you can say that the difference lies in the subpubic angle. This is the pubic symphysis in midline, and these are the two conjoint ischiopubic ramus diverging. Okay, and these two conjoint ischiopubic ramus, they are diverging and forming an angle what is called as the subpubic angle, and this subpubic angle is small. Okay, here between the two conjoint ischiopubic ramus is less as compared to that of the female. See the subpubic angle in female. See, it is quite wide. Two conjoint ischiopubic rami, they are wide apart. Okay, you can see here like that. Here you can see that if you put your hand and the finger onto the of the two fingers of your hand, it is a gap between the two fingers. Okay, say for example between index and that of the middle finger, it will accommodate, but if you will try to put the finger, two will not be accommodated. See, I am just spreading my finger of index and middle, but it is not. You will have to spread your thumb and that of the index finger, which will be accommodating this large subpubic angle. Then he will ask you why there is a large subpubic angle. The large subpubic angle, you can say, is because that the pelvic cavity in case of the female is wider. It is quite wide. That's why it has a large subpubic angle. Then he can also ask you that there is a elevation, much more elevation will be seen on the conjoint ischiopubic ramus. Okay, in case of the female, see this bony elevation. Okay, and this is for attachment of the crura of the penis, which is not that very well marked in case of the female. This projection is there. In this case it is there, but in most of the female articulated pelvis it will not be that mark will be here. So that is in relation to the conjoint ischiopubic ramus and the subpubic ramus. Then there is an important difference which you can tell to your examiner that if you take the distance between the pubic symphysis from here and measure this distance from the anterior margin of the acetabulum, then this distance and that of the width of the acetabulum, they are almost equal. They are almost equal. But this is not the case in the female. Let me show you the female pelvis here. You can see that from pubic symphysis to the anterior margin of the acetabulum and then the width of the acetabulum. This is more, that is from pubic symphysis to anterior margin of acetabulum is significantly more as compared to the width of the acetabulum. This is another important difference. And why? Why it is so? As I said that again, the pelvic cavity is larger here in case of female because of the childbearing function. That's why this area is more. Okay, this I mean to say length between pubic symphysis and the anterior margin of the acetabular cavity is more. Then because of that reason here, if you will see the acetabular foramina, this is not acetabular, this obturator, obturator foramina here is somewhat oval in case of the male, but in case of female, definitely if you will see here, it is triangular. You can see the base of the triangle, the two arms, and this will form the apex of the triangle. So this margin is triangular. Why this is triangular? This is because the conjoint ischiopubic ramus are forming the wide subpubic angle, and because of that they are pushed towards the lateral side. So to an oval obturator foramina, they make it as a triangular obturator foramina. Okay, obturator. Then you can show him, okay, to your examiner that then another important difference between male and female is in relation to the sciatic notch. Here is the greater sciatic notch. You can see it is quite narrow. Okay, you can appreciate the greater sciatic notch, which is here. It is quite narrow greater sciatic notch. But on this side, in the case of the female pelvis, this is female pelvis, you can see that it is quite a wide greater sciatic notch is here. This is quite wide greater sciatic notch is here, and it's the shallow depth is here. That means depth is quite shallow. Here if you will see, the notch depth is quite deep. So this is and also important. You can see both these notches together. The first one is female and this one is the male. Okay, so this is the difference between the greater sciatic notch. And another difference which is there, let us see in the male first. Okay, in the male first, say for example, if it is the sacral promontory, the body of the sacrum, here is the body of the sacrum is there, and if you see the width of the body of the sacrum in comparison to the width of the ala of the sacrum. See this? This is the ala of the sacrum. Just let me show you. This is from here to here. If you will measure the distance, say for it is the body of the sacrum, first S1, then this is much more as compared to the width of the ala of the sacrum. But here, and why it is much more? Because again the load is much more in the male which is going. And here if you will see, okay, this width, okay, of the this body of the sacrum is less and ala is more. But in this case I am finding that it is bigger body is here and ala is less. Okay, that means it is showing you the male type of the thing which should not be there. Probably there is some problem with the body of this articulated pelvis where the margins are also included, okay, within the body of the pelvis. Okay, just me, I will bring some other bone for the female, and if I will show you this fact which is not seen in this specimen. Okay, just a minute. Let us see, I bought another female pelvis. See, the wide subpubic angle is here. This is a female pelvis, and if you will compare the body here, you can see that this is body is smaller as compared to that of the width between the ala of the sacrum and the margin of the body. Okay, see this width here from here to here. here to here, and then this width. So body is narrow in case of female as the width of the ala of the sacrum. Okay, so this was another specimen where we have seen. Then what we will see that the inlet of the pelvis. Okay, and if you see the inlet of the pelvis, it is, in case of the male, it is almost heart shape. You can see here. Okay, let me bring this. It is almost heart-shaped body. That means sacral promontory is going inside, and this is quite narrow. All dimensions, transverse and anteroposterior, oblique, they are narrow as compared to the, this is the inlet of the pelvis. So this inlet is quite wider, okay, and it is almost oval in shape. There it was the heart shape there. So these are the some of the differences between the male as well as the female pelvis, and you should just very briefly describe these differences between male and that of the female pelvis. Thank you very much.